do it. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Zwift Underground Racing Series. Forgive me, we seem to have lost Kevin for just a second, but hopefully we shall get him back. Just bear with me 1 second, everybody. But we do have Kevin Opele here from NZ Bro. We can see you, Kevin. How are you doing this morning? Yeah, absolutely. Well, this is the final round of this series. Last month, because this is a monthly series, he runs the third Friday of every month, 7:15 GMT. This is the final round of Series 1. But in September, we are moving to Series 2, and we've got multiple groups for Season 2. But tonight, we're on Downtown Dolphin. It's a crit course. We've got 10 laps, so approximately 20 kilometers. And we have some hitters in the pens tonight. If we take a quick look at the teams, we can see here that we've got BL13 lining up with 6 riders. We've got Daryl Carter, Gareth Eust, Mark Elding, Michael Gamst, Thomas Berry, and Valentine Desi. I think that's the first time we've seen Valentine Desi on the lineup for BL13. And then we've got Mutant, Chris Kaufman, George Whitlock, James Young. A quality sprint on James there, and he's had some great results so far. Team captain Kuba Standansky from Mutant, Stephen Kenny, and then we move on to the new team. The new kids on the block. There seems to be a few riders in here, so I'm assuming there's a DS in the pens tonight. So, again, these guys are taking this very seriously. Brad Greenberg, a regular in the series. Brian Duffy Jr. has also had a win in the series. Jerry Hernandez played a key part. Greg Abbott, R. Keller also, and Richard Barry lining up the team. And then we move on to NZ Bro, and it is the man who was in the breakaway last month, Kevin, with Aaron Bleakley. So do you want to talk us through the rest of the NZ Bro team, as you are the team manager of NZ Bro? Yeah, no, absolutely. And what we mean by that is a lot of the courses so far have featured a climb somewhere in the course, but a pretty flat course, although I do expect some fireworks in tonight's race. And Josh Haggerty, Kevin, has had some great results, and another one of those quality sprinters that if he hangs on in there through the attritional sections, could be there for that finishing sprint. Yeah, absolutely. And we're rounding out the teams today with Electric Spirit, and we've got Adam Bailey, Joe Endersley, which is also a regular on the Underground series, Matthew James, Ray Wilson, and Tim Humpton, which I've seen had a few good results this week, also making up the lineup. We are out on course, so Kevin, why don't we push ahead and take a look at the action, the early action, as we roll through out onto this Crit City course. So at the moment, we are sat in with Desi from BL13. Indeed, 4 riders at the front at the moment. No surprise, Aaron Bleakley up there early, as always. And those guys who watched the races last month will know that Bleakley and a few other riders, I think it was Payne from Next, and I forget who the other rider was, but they went from the gun and stayed away for the duration of the race on the Railways and Rooftops course last month there, Kevin. absolutely. And it is Gamps there just on the front, being followed sharply again from Barry, I think it is, from Electric Spirit. Or actually, no, from Next there. Let's take a look. So all together at the moment, apart from Gamps just pushing ahead there. So we've got Gamst, and it is Kaufman there from Mutant, who are just pushing the pace on, and Ruth from NZ Bro just closing that gap and pulling it back together. We'll try and keep ourselves as close to the front as we can, because I do expect there to be a lot of action tonight. I've also received a few messages from a few of the teams say, watch out for fireworks this evening. So let's see what happens. I hope they deliver on that promise there, Kevin. Yeah, absolutely. So we just sat on the back here with Hernandez. But it looks like we've got some action as we get closer to the front. And once again, it looks like NZ Bro, is it? Yeah, I think every month so far we've seen plenty of action early on in this races. And although it's a crit course, this is no different. Very early on here, we're seeing 5, 6, 7 watts a kilo pretty early on, as we've got a group of 5 riders. Hernandez, Whitlock, Ruth, and James all in this front group. BL13 not present, right? Yeah, absolutely. We were Tim Humpton and Aaron Bleakley also on the front here, driving it up over this short, sharp climb. But it's surprising how much it continues to roll once you take this right-hand turn here and head towards the start-finish line. We're 3 kilometers in, so we're roughly 16 kilometers, 16 and a half kilometers to go until the finish. So still a long way to go in this race. All riders together. And it is Thomas Berry of BL13 on the front, again pushing the pace. And no surprises that Bleakley, hot on the tails, trying to close that gap. If these two can work together, we've got 2 quality engines here. And we can see that gap very quickly. This is the biggest gap we've seen so far at 2 seconds on this particular course. Yeah, absolutely. I can't see Next wanting these 2 riders to get much of a lead, especially given the results that Bleakley's been having recently. I noticed on Wednesday Worlds, again, Aaron Bleakley was out there performing for the final round of the Zwift Classics. Yes, it was it 9 kilometers of absolute climbing there. Definitely one to avoid. But I do believe that Michael Gamps took the overall GC, I believe, in the Classics this time around. Yeah, BL13, absolutely one of those teams to light up any race. And this is no different, Kevin, with a gap going out to 4 seconds for Berry and Bleakley now. Yeah, but absolutely. Bleakley and Berry here, both sitting comfortably. Well, whether it's comfortably or not, at 7 watts a kilo, at 173 beats a minute there for Aaron Bleakley. But this gap continues to go out at 6 seconds. Now, is this a plan to get these riders out there and stay there, or to burn some matches from Next? Because Next, although they've only been present in the last 3 races, have managed to get the results and pack the points by getting riders up there, or plenty of riders up there in the top 10. As we see those orange numbers light up from the chasing group, and very quickly that gap is starting to come down to 2-3 seconds. Yeah, it'll be interesting here, though, Kevin, if we're going to see some riders, again, from either BL13 or NZ Bro roll straight over the top and continue the action and keep the pressure on Next. They have to do something because Next have the heritage in the legs with the sprinters there. I haven't seen Brune's name this evening, but Brune also has a win so far in the Underground League. I know Brian Duffy Jr. is there for Next, who is one of the former winners of the Underground series. Yeah, I'm sure Josh Haggerty, a 17 watts a kilo sprint, if I remember rightly, Kevin, will be sitting and hoping for a bunch sprint, I guess. Absolutely. And it is Gareth Eustier from BL13 on the front. A local lad to me, not too far away in Manchester. A regular in the BL13 squad. Despite what the flag shows, I think, on his Zwift there. Yeah, absolutely. And we've got 3 riders off the front here. All I can say is it's Kay from NZ Bro. You know a bit more about that athlete than myself, Kevin. And then we've got Barry and Eust along with Kay, the mysterious Kay. Who are we looking at there? Well, these... Absolutely, and this is a dangerous move here with Next represented as well. It's going to be down to Mutant and Electric Spirit, I guess, to get themselves to the front of the group and start to close this gap. Last time this happened, I was quite surprised how quiet Mutant were within that chase, but I can see they've got James Young and a few other riders on the front there trying to close this gap down, but this gap, is maintained over the top. 3 seconds, and the riders continue to push on at 4 watts a kilo. Yeah, absolutely. And these guys are continuing to push here, but it is coming back slowly. 2 to 3 seconds now, this gap. And indeed, we've got Kay, Berry, Haggerty, and Humpton on the front there of the peloton, chasing these 3 riders down. Thank you for everyone who's joined us this evening. We've got plenty of chat going on, I can see as well. Well, I can see comments in the chat from Brune, and also Tom Thrall was there. Whether they're sincere, whether they're happy they're missing out on tonight or not, I do not know, but they're in chat. Thank you for joining us. So it'll be interesting without those riders to see what are Next going to do. Are they going to utilize the depth and strength that they've got? Are they going to keep trying to fire riders off here? But it looks like this is all going to come back together, I think, here. And we're approaching the midway point. We're almost 9 kilometers into the race. So next time round, we will be halfway as we see Ruth again shooting off the front, 8.5 kilos per kilogram, pushing off the front, 9 watts a kilos. Many, many riders. Look at the orange numbers there. Plenty of PR set that time round, showing you that that was a very quick lap indeed. And it is Mark Eldin, I believe, on the front again. Yeah, all strung out as we went over that climb through the rollers, and then we're going to head towards this start-finish banner to commence on another lap. But Ruth is continuing on the front here. And it's Bailey from Electric Spirit following through. And we're even, Stevens, all the peloton back together. We're just sat on board at the moment with Wilson from Electric Spirit. Electric Spirit had some really fantastic performances so far in the series, but still missing out on a victory. So could tonight be the night? Very consistent team. Unfortunately, we are missing Sisu Racing this evening, but hopefully, well, I know they will be back for Series 2. And for Series 2, Kevin, we're going to have 2 groups in the men's team and 1 ladies group, I think, next series round. So it's going to be very competitive. We're going to have 3 qualifying rounds before a grand final in December. Just ready, just in time, ready for that festive break. Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's obviously a very tough evening on Wednesday as well, but we know Gamst's powers of recovery, and I'm sure Gamst will not be one of those riders who wants to hang around from the sprint, so I do expect to see some action from Gamst early on. But again, the riders started to be strung out as they hit this little kicker. It's a short kicker, but it's surprising. Time after time, 10 laps round, it certainly has an impact, especially when you're pushing the watts per kilo that these riders are pushing. Yeah, well, I think this is the first lap now where we've seen all riders together for the duration of that lap without any real action off the front. Yeah, absolutely. Looks like at the moment everyone's just saving, waiting for that bit of action. And then let's see who's going to light it up. And then where we see a reaction again, as we see an NZ Bro rider moving off the front. Your man Ben once again. I can't help feel there's a job to be done here with Ben, just so we get Haggerty to the finish line with the group, make everyone else do the work. You're not going to let in any secrets, though, Kevin. Do you get involved in the team discussion at all pre-race, or is it just done amongst the riders on the road? Yeah, that's all been part of it, keeping the peloton size relatively small. And although we've got 6 team members, it's the first 5 riders from each team who get points on the UnderGround series. But yeah, you're right. Something like the ZRL, I mean, we've got an it's your man, Ben Ruth, again on the front, 7 watts a kilo. And we're not seeing much of a reaction at this point. Well, Enzebro is certainly getting plenty of that at the moment, as we see Michael Gamst on the front, 8.5 watts a kilo, just trying to close that gap. Not doing quite enough yet to separate himself from the peloton. But then we see Desi from BL13 also pushing 10 watts a kilo. So are we seeing a dual attack here from BL13 with Gamst and Desi pushing off the front together? BL13 do have a reputation for these team attacks, and this looks like exactly what we're seeing. And we're sat on with Desi at the moment, 173 beats per minute, 370 watts. Michael Gamst just letting him go, sitting back. As we do see a reaction here from next with Barry, and Tim Humpton from Electric Spirit also get himself near the front of the peloton. Are they trying to get across? In fact, I think we do have 4 riders here just separate themselves. It's Hadina and Barry from next. And Humpton also rolling straight over the top of Desi. Well, absolutely. You and I have a look through the Zwift power before the start, and I'm a fairly low ranking A, and it scares me when I look at the numbers that these guys can put out. I'm grateful that I'm not racing these kind of events. That is for sure. There's absolute quality through the depth, and that's obviously part of the underground racing teams. We only take teams or invite teams from the top 50 of the Zwift power rankings, and I think every team in here, in fact, is probably top 15 this evening, if not top 10. Kevin? Yeah, absolutely. Let's just try and jump ourselves to the front of the race again here. And we're all together. And we have about 3 laps to go now. So we're 15.5 kilometers in. Absolutely. Aaron Bleakley on the front. I didn't even need to see his name there. I saw PC Yoda and knew straight away that that was Mr. Bleakley himself. I saw his feature on the rap show with Nathan and Anna. If you're not catching up with that, catch up with that. The Zwift Community Live podcast. You can watch it live, I think, on Twitch and YouTube, but you can watch again on any of the podcast stations and also over on YouTube. But I saw Aaron giving us in-depth insights to the best PC setups, I think, for Zwifting and streaming. Every team needs a tech support guru, that's for sure. And Enzebro getting 2 riders in this leading 5 now. Yeah, this has been the crucial part, I think. Once we've gone round this corner here, this is the crucial part when the main peloton have been managed to pull these breakaways back. But it is Aaron Bleakley doing all the work I see at the moment. There are other 4 riders willing just to sit on Aaron and let him churn out the 4-5 watts a kilo. But this is, they're going to need to work together here to push this pace. As Aaron's teammate rolls through also 5.5 watts a kilo. We see Barry, I think it is, from next. We've got Gamps there. Absolute quality rider and absolutely will be driving this on. I can't quite see who the Electric Spirit rider is there, Kevin. I think it might be Endersby if I... Yeah, Endersby, that's it. But again, Aaron Bleakley on the front. Aaron's doing a hell of a lot of work here. Yeah, absolutely. And it is one long line now. And I think we're seeing Ben once again roll over the top from NZ Bro. Thomas Berry, hot on his heels, 8 watts a kilo. As we start to head towards the little kicker. Thomas Berry also no slouch when it comes to his sprinting ability. But again, it is Barry, Berry, and Ben Ruth from NZ Bro off the front here, extending the gap to 2 seconds. This is the crucial time as we roll towards this little kicker climb. And as we said, Kevin, before, it's when you get over the top, you've got to keep that pressure on through those rollers. Absolutely. Well, we're heading towards crunch time now in this race, and it is Thomas Berry at the front, 6.5 watts a kilo, as he takes this right-hand turn, and they're starting to head towards this finish line. James Young going early, 10.5 watts a kilo, extending the gap. Absolutely is going for this early. And it is still James Young from Mutant, 10.8 watts a kilo. I feel like he's held this for some time now. Absolutely, 10.3 watts a kilo. And I think Josh Haggerty there, closing that gap. And I think Josh Haggerty took second place there. So indeed, it was James Young from Mutant. Let's see if we can get a quick replay. Yep, so we can get a quick action replay there, and it was James Young getting first place, Josh Haggerty second, Greenberg in third by the looks of it, and Duffy Jr., I think, following up there. So next, certainly getting 2 riders in there. Now, this is the challenging part now, Kevin, because we've got to try and get the results through and keep everyone on Twitch and YouTube hooked and online while we try and process these results the best we can. Absolutely. It was amazing to see how long he managed to hold that 10 watts a kilo as well. So it'd be interesting to have a look at through these stats, and hopefully I can take us over to the results page. Indeed. Yeah, absolutely. Well, the good news is we've managed to get the results. Let me get those up. There we go. So indeed, it was James Young from Mutant taking the victory. Joshua Haggerty there in second. Brad Greenberg, Brian Duffy Jr., Richard Barry. So next, getting 3 riders there in the top 5. So when it comes down to the team points, that's going to be pretty critical. And of course, it was NZ Bro who've been leading the series so far with BL13 setting in second place. And next, although they joined the series late, absolutely got themselves into third place in the league before this evening's race. Tim Hupton from Electric Spirit, great result there, getting up in sixth place. Gareth, the triathlete from BL13 in seventh. Adam Bailey, Electric Spirit. So fantastic to see Electric Spirit getting those two riders there in the top 10. In fact, three riders, Ray Wilson, also from Electric Spirit, getting up there. And it was Jan Lichwart, one of your teammates there from NZ Bro, getting ninth. Let's have a quick look at some of the wattage. And indeed, some very, very big sprints there and some great averages. 4.9 watts a kilo average there for James Young. So a great evening's racing. Kevin, I've got to try and get your camera back on again because we seem to have lost you. There he is. There he is. So thank you everyone this evening who's joined us. Thank you for everyone in the chat. Sorry I couldn't read too much of the chat, but trying to watch the race and concentrate on the race and look at the chat. It's not too easy for an amateur like myself. And thank you again, Kevin, for the last couple of months with your input on the Underground League. And I think we'll take a look at the team results. Well, what we'll do is we'll go and share the team results over on the Zwift Racers Facebook page. I'll also post it up on my page, and I'll post it up on the YouTube channel later this evening as well. But I'm confident, given tonight's results, that NZ Bro would have taken the overall team victory for Series 1 of the Underground Racing League. Don't forget, Series 2 starts in September. If you are a top 50 team, according to Zwift Power rankings, and you want to come and take on the big boys and maximize your point opportunities in Zwift Power rankings also, then drop myself or Kevin a line and we'll try and get you on board for Series 2. Kevin, thank you for joining us this morning, as it is for you. I hope you've got a great weekend's training ahead, and we'll see you in September, right? Absolutely. Wishing you all a great weekend. Thanks for joining us. Take care.